were foreign ministers at the same time. I am encouraged by what has been achieved over the last months, because we've had the two leaders, Mr. Akinci and Mr. Anastasiadis, are meeting each other very frequently. The negotiators even more frequently. They have built a solid level of trust, and they show leadership, and they're trying to think outside the box to find new solutions to all problems. And I feel that as long as we're able to keep this track moving, there is a real chance, and probably the best chance in decades, to actually finally solve the Cyprus problem. Property is clearly one of the more difficult issues, and we have spent quite some time on the property issues over the last weeks. It's really the core of the conversations right now, and I believe that if we get property right, we are seeing the beginning of the end of this, and we're seeing a solution coming up. Property is complicated because it affects the daily life of many people, whether they are current users or dispossessed owners, and there's a lot of emotions about this. But I feel that we are building, slowly but steadily building an understanding between the two leaders and the negotiating teams where the compromise can be found in that area. And it should be a compromise that does not create too much disruption, but also where people who have really been waiting for many years to be able to go back will also find some solution to their quest. And in that space, I think some kind of compromise can be found. And what I can tell you is that the leaders and the negotiators are actively searching for ways to get there, because they both know. Very focused, he was very committed, and he confirmed to me once again that Turkey really wants to see a solution, and that Turkey is also ready to play its part to support the solution. And I followed up today with Foreign Minister Çavuşoğlu and Under Secretary Sinirulu and the other key people in the Foreign Ministry, where we discussed some details of this, because, as I mentioned, there will be a moment where the guarantor powers have to be drawn into the conversation of security and guarantees, and I'm preparing that, while also keeping all of them informed, so London, Athens, Ankara, about developments in the talks, because this is a Cypriot issue, but it's of course also a regional and international issue. Well, I mean, if one side says no, that means that that plan didn't work, and I would just say I think that would be a seriously missed opportunity, because the stars are aligned now, but they may not be aligned forever. And I think a number of people who are following this closely are saying that this opportunity that we've seen now, that, I mean, even people who followed much longer than I have say that we haven't seen such an opportunity, and that's why we have to play, or the leaders rather, have to play their cards in such a way that they can actually achieve two yeses. I work with two leaders who want this to work, and they agree, they disagree, they discuss, they come to agreement, they have new disagreements, but I never doubted that they are genuinely trying to make this work, because they know that history, the pressure of history is on their shoulders, and they want to play it right. And this is a statement they said together, Mr. Akinci and Mr. Anastasiadis. They did not spell out together what exactly near future is. That's room for some interpretation. And I have decided that I am not pushing for a specific date, because we need a good solution more than a hasty solution. But on the other hand, I've also said many times, and I know that the leaders agree with that, that we have to use this momentum, use this opportunity while we have it. So, so I'm not going to say that referendum will be at a specific date, because we need a solution first. And we don't only need any solution, we need a solution that can get two yeses. So the purpose of the leaders is not only to agree among themselves and shake hands, is that to be able to convince their two communities to say yes, so that we avoid a situation like in 2004, where the Turkish Cypriots said yes to the Annan plan and the Greek Cypriots said no. And Anastasiadis knows that he will only succeed if Akinci succeeds, and Akinci knows that he will only succeed if Anastasiadis succeeds. So that's why they're spending quite some time now on understanding the primary concerns of the other community, and that's one of the things that makes me hopeful.